Welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian Kingsbury. Today we're going to go over 10 overlooked war films that deserve more recognition. This is brought to us by Worthly.com. Let's get into it. Some war films explode onto the big screen and win awards, while others, just as gripping, slip through the cracks, buried beneath bigger titles and box office giants. These forgotten movies deliver raw storytelling and overlooked heroics. You might not have heard of them, but once you do, you'll wonder why they never got their due. Keep reading to discover 10 war movies that deserve their moment in the spotlight. First one on the list is The Big Red One that came out in 1980. Directed by combat veteran Samuel Fuller, it delivers an unfiltered boots-on-the-ground experience of World War II through the eyes of a hardened sergeant played by Lee Marvin. Real battle footage inspired many of its sequences, but somehow it was overshadowed by mainstream epics. If you think you've seen every great World War II film, think again. Up next is the movie Come and See that came out in 1985. Imagine being trapped inside a waking nightmare. That's Come and See. Elim Kilimov's Soviet war movie is just haunting. It's emotionally exhausting. A young Belarusian boy experiences the brutal horrors of Nazi occupation, and it makes sure you feel every second of his torment. The actor's hair reportedly turned gray from the psychological strain of filming. The next movie on the list was The Forgotten Battle that came out in 2020. The Battle of Scheldt was a decisive World War II clash, and this Dutch movie puts it in a spotlight. Instead of a single protagonist, it follows three perspectives of a resistance fighter, a German soldier, and a British pilot, which shows a layered look at wartime morality. Shot in freezing, mud-soaked conditions for realism, this modern drama deserves more attention. Next movie on the list is Fires on the Plain that came out in 1959. Few military action films dare to show the slow, painful descent into madness. It is a classical Japanese movie that takes you deep into the psyche of a starving soldier abandoned in the Philippines. Cannibalism and human fragility are all on display. Banned in some countries upon release for its unrelenting bleakness, it is a powerful anti-war statement that's still overlooked. Next movie on the list is The Siege of Jaratville that came out in 2016. What happens when 150 Irish UN peacekeepers take on 3,000 mercenaries? Based on a true story, this brings to life one of the most heroic but forgotten battles of the Cold War era. The real soldiers were never recognized for their bravery until decades later. Much like the film itself, it's a great find on Netflix that deserves a second chance. Next movie on the list is Uncommon Valor that came out in 1983. Not all heroes wear capes. Some come in combat boots and refuse to leave a fallen comrade behind. It is an action-packed Vietnam War drama about a father who gathers a squad of veterans to rescue his MIA son, and one of Gene Hackman's most commanding performances. Overlooked in the Platoon and Full Metal Jacket era, it's time this film gets the credit it deserves. Next movie on the list is The Steel Helmet that came out in 1951. As Hollywood's first major film about the Korean War, it is barely mentioned in movie discussions. Shot on a tiny budget, this movie still manages to feel brutally real. Director Samuel Fuller, a World War II vet, poured his first-hand combat experience into the script, tackling themes of propaganda and moral ambiguity. A movie on battles that is truly ahead of its time. Next movie on the list is The War Boy that came out in 1985. Most in this genre show the battlefield, but this one focuses on the scars it leaves behind. Set in an Eastern European town during World War II, it follows a boy forced to grow up too soon. It is a lesser-known Canadian film that captures the quiet tragedies of war with gut-wrenching realism. Unlike action-heavy ones, this one highlights the silent victims, those who never held a gun. Next movie on the list is Duel that came out in 2004. It is an Iranian war drama that tackles PTSD and the struggle to return to normal life after the Iran-Iraq War. Its dreamlike cinematography and non-linear storytelling make it feel more like a memory than a movie. Heavily underrated outside of Iran, it's a must-watch for those who appreciate movies of this nature that discuss human conditions that go beyond the battlefield. The final movie on today's list is The Forgotten. It came out in 2003. Tank warfare doesn't get enough screen time, and this proves just how intense it can be. 2 American tanks lost behind enemy lines during the Korean War must cross treacherous terrain and ambushes. Every clanking tread and ricocheting shell adds to the tension. Despite its strong execution and a story that keeps you on the edge of your seat, it faded into obscurity. Alright, there you have it. 10 overlooked war films that deserve more recognition. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this sort of content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscription button, ring that notification bell. I'll make these videos a regular part of your day. If you could do me a big favor, give this one a big thumbs up on your way out. Hit that big thumbs up button and leave me a comment. We'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.